What's up guys, my name is Kubits and welcome to a video on how to make survival mode fun again. Maybe you've been playing survival mode for a while and you're just looking for a mod to mix up the gameplay a little bit. Or maybe you gave survival mode a try and it really wasn't your thing and you're wondering how you can get into it. Or maybe you've never played survival mode at all and you just heard bad things about it. This guide is basically a compilation of different tricks and mods that I've implemented to make the survival experience a lot more fun. Obviously everyone has their own preferences, but I've been having so much fun with these mods in particular that I figured I wanted to share them with you. Now the first mod, and maybe my favorite mod for Fallout ever, is called Create Your Own Difficulty. Essentially what this mod allows you to do is completely customize the amount of damage that you deal as a player and as the NPCs deal to you. It might seem really simple, but here's where it gets kind of interesting. The maximum amount of damage that you can choose to have dealt to you and dealt to NPCs is 5 times. This is my favorite setting to put it on. When you have 5 times damage, you're lucky if you don't get hit in one shot by pretty much anything. Occasionally if a raider gets a bad shot on you, or maybe you just get hit by a mole rat, maybe you're not gonna die. However, if you get hit point blank by a bullet, you're totally dead. On the other hand, that also means that generally speaking, most things you'll encounter in the world will only take 1 and at max maybe 4 shots to kill. Obviously there are exceptions like death claws, other more resistant enemies, but in this mod, your gun actually acts like a gun. It's a super simple change, but in reality it amps up the tension of combat to a point in which every single encounter is really exciting. If you see a ghoul jump out of a door, your heart practically stops because you know if they hit you, it's all over. When you come across a raider camp, you really have to plan ahead and not get caught in a bunch of crossfire. The other thing that I really love about this mod is that the damage is actually towards the NPCs too. Now keep in mind, this mod is completely customizable, so if you want, you can have 0.25 damage dealt towards you and 5 damage dealt towards enemies. I just personally find that the 5 times damage towards both is just the most thrilling way to play the game. Something about having to load 10 different shotgun shells into a Mariluke is just grating to say the least. Shooting a raider from far away, getting the perfect headshot only to have them walk off like it was nothing, that's super unsatisfying. The Wasteland is deadly. It feels deadly, but it's not just deadly towards you, it's deadly towards everyone. The guns feel much more satisfying to wield, and at the same time, the tension of combat is just amped up to an extreme. This is the kind of tension that you want to have in an FPS game. Beyond that, it's kind of hard for me to explain what the experience is actually like. I just highly encourage you to give it a shot. In relation to this mod, I would like to recommend a second one. The Survival QUICKSAVE mod is a mod that I feel like I have to have if I'm playing survival. Now this is obviously personal preference. Some people really like that you can only save at a bed, but I know for me, it's just not that fun. I like to feel free and open to explore the world. Something about only quick saving in a bed makes you feel confined to very small spaces. Some people like that, of course, but personally I'm not a fan. What this mod does really well is it gets rid of backtracking. It gets rid of the repetitive, okay, I died, 10-minute walk away, and now I just need to walk that way again to get to the same exact battle. It's not the 10-minute walk that's hard, it's just grating. Quick saving right before a battle or right before you go into an area really cuts down on the repetitive travel time. It doesn't make the encounter any less difficult, it just saves you from doing the same thing over and over and over again. In survival mode, I like the fact that I can go from one area in the map to another pretty easily. I like exploring and I like going to dangerous places. The fun part of Fallout for me is that I don't have to be settled down in one place. The QUICKSAVE mod offers you a mobility that you didn't have before. The concept of the mod is super simple. You either want it or you don't. But I thought I would mention it because it's really important for me to have it in my load order if I'm playing survival, and I'm not sure if everyone knows that it actually exists. Now, the third mod that I want to mention is Campfire. Campfire is very similar to the Survival QUICKSAVE mod. Essentially, it allows you to place a tent, or a bedroll, or a fire, or a cooking pot wherever you want in the world. If you choose not to use the QUICKSAVE mod, or even if you are using it, it's a really helpful way to keep your utilities in order if you don't really want to get involved in settlement building. It's a really amazing mod that could have been in the game to begin with. It basically just provides you with a lot more mobility and utility. If you want to learn a lot more about this mod, then you can click on the screen here. I have a video showcasing pretty much every feature in the mod, but since this is just a video highlighting multiple mods, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. The final mod I want to mention is actually something related to the console. Now, the actual mod that I want to mention is timescale, but it's not really a mod, it's just a feature that you have in your console. However, if you're playing survival mode, then your console is actually disabled. So I highly recommend the console commands in survival mode mod. All this allows you to do is use console commands in survival mode. This basically allows you to do my final tip for this video. Something I found a little bit pesky about survival mode is having to feed my character pretty much every 3 minutes. It felt like it was really disrupting the gameplay, and considering that usually when I play this game, I play it for upwards of 4 hours, having to constantly check my inventory is kind of annoying. A lot of times, I like taking my time, I like to take in my surroundings. It just seems unrealistic to me that my character would have to sleep every 10 minutes. Maybe this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but that's really what it feels like. That's why I recommend changing your timescale ratio. If you relate to this problem, then I highly recommend you do it. More than in Skyrim, Fallout 4 is less severely affected by the timescale mechanic. As far as I know, 1-to-1 timescale is technically viable, however, I'm not 100% sure that it's completely stable. From my own experience and what I've heard from a lot of people playing the game, is that timescale at 6 is probably best. Essentially, this means that the world's time moves 6 times as fast as real-life time. To me, this feels like a very, very comfortable speed to play the game at. You don't have to think about your needs all the time, but every once in a while you're questing or running around the world, you'll have a need pop up at the bottom. In vanilla, the timescale is set to 20, so do your best to use your judgment to decide what you would prefer best in your game. Once you've decided on the timescale that you want to use, all you have to do is type into the console, set timescale to, and then the number that you want to use. For example, in this case, I'm going to use 6. Press enter, and then you should be good to go. Just remember to save afterwards, because if you don't, then it won't be applicable to your save game anymore. That's about all I have to share with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing. I upload super regularly, both Fallout and Skyrim, both Let's Plays and mod spotlights. I think if you enjoyed this video, then you'll definitely enjoy the rest of mine. On the screen here, you can see a bunch of different choices of mods that you can learn more about. Campfire, the camping mod I mentioned earlier, Survivalist Go Bags, a backpack mod, and a mystery video. I wonder where it could lead. And if you like watching live streams, I also do that on twitch.tv/Qubits. I stream Fallout, I stream Skyrim, and I stream a bunch of other different games. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching this far into the video. I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next video.